Good morning, L2 Nation, my friends. Thank you for being here with me this morning. I wanted to start by saying that I've had some conversations lately with people that don't really understand how to fully take responsibility for their life, for their results. And I think we can all agree that most successful people, at least the ones that I know personally, are really good at taking responsibility for their life. They take responsibility for their results. They don't come up with excuses. They focus on what they want, on their results, and that's all that they really focus on. They're not complaining about how things are. They're not blaming any other people. They are just taking responsibility for their results, right? And so that's really what I want to talk about this morning is when something happens, right? We have a few options. When an event happens, it could be anything. It could be traffic, could be the economy, could be weather, could be somebody, a colleague or a customer or a family member being rude to you. When an event happens, we have a few options. So, what are those options? One is we can blame the event because this event happened, my life is worse because this happened, because this person did this, because this person did that. Now my life is worse. And now I'm putting the blame on other people. So, what am I doing when I'm putting the blame on other things that are outside of my control? Because you can't control people as much as you would like to. You can't control people. So, uh, when you're blaming people, you're giving away your power, right? You're saying, now that person is responsible for my life because now that person is responsible for why this happened to me, right? Versus having the mindset of life happens for me, not to me, right? So trying to learn why that happened and giving a different meaning that's going to be empowering to you, right? So, number one, you can blame the event. Number two, you can complain about the outcome, right? So, because this happened, because this person did this, this happened, and now here's the outcome that I'm experiencing. Here's the situation that I'm having to deal with. Here are the results that I got because of this person doing that, right? So I'm complaining about the outcome, and it is what it is, right? It is what it is. What has happened, you can't change the past. You can only change the future. You can only change what you do today that's going to impact the next moment and the moment after that and your tomorrow. So there's no point in complaining about the event because that it's done, right? It is what it is. Let go, forgive it. Don't give it any energy because any energy that you focus on something that you have no control over, that you can't change, it's wasted energy. So you want to focus on the future. What can I do moving forward? What can I do going ahead? Right? I love that. Nothing has meaning except for the meaning you give it. 100%. 100%. When something happens, you have to ask yourself, what does this mean? What does this mean to me, right? We all ask ourselves that question, but your beliefs about the situation, and it could be an unconscious belief, your belief is going to determine the meaning that you give it, right? At the end of the day, if I believe that I'm meant to be successful, not I think or I hope or I wish, I believe that I'm meant to be successful, that's what I'm going to be focusing on. And that's what my brain is going to be scanning for evidence of that in every situation, in every event around me. So when something happens, if my belief, the deepest belief that I hold is that I'm meant to be successful, I am successful, then I'm going to look at that event and I'm going to, even if it's a negative event, an event that I necessarily don't like, I'm going to be scanning it for what is this event supposed to show me? How is this event supposed to help me continue on my path to becoming successful? How is this event supposed to help me level up? Supposed to help me to the next, get me to the next level, right? But if I believe that I can't ever get ahead, that I'm a failure, that no matter what I do, I'm not going to win. If that's what I believe, then when something happens, I'm scanning for that belief, right? I'm scanning for evidence that supports that belief, because what we believe is what creates our reality, right? And that's our perception. Perception is reality. So what we believe directly impacts, directly affects what we see, right? We see what we believe, right? A lot of people are like, "Oh, I gotta see it to believe it." Well, there's so much evidence out there right now to that can show you wrong. What I mean by that is, you might be thinking like, "Man, nobody wants to do business with me. Nobody likes to do business with me. Like, I can't ever get ahead." And because you believe that, you're scanning for evidence all around you, and that's what you're going to see. And what happens is, when you're have that belief so strongly in your mind, and that's what you're scanning for, you miss all the good stuff that is contrary to that belief. So maybe you've had a break. Somebody came to you 2 weeks ago, and that was a good opportunity, but because you're not focused on that, that's not your belief. Your mind does not focus on that. It puts it in the back of your mind, and it just keeps scanning for things that are going to be aligned with your belief. Okay. So when something happens to you or for you, right? Again, it goes back to your psychology, how you see things. If you believe that you're not good enough, when people around you do different things, you're going to be scanning for evidence that's going to tell you like you're not good enough. And then that's how you're going to feel, because what you focus on, you feel. So you scan your environment for evidence for what you believe to match your story. And so that way of feeling is going to impact the way that you take action or not take action, right? Because at the end of the day, I can tell you, I've had plenty of moments. I still have them. I mean, I struggle just like anybody else. Still have plenty of moments when I don't have my mind right, and I get to a point where like I freeze, like I don't take the actions that I need to take because um I've told myself like, "Oh, this is too stressful. Like, what are you doing, Kevin? Like, why are you even going down this path? Like, I'm so stressed out, right?" Like, if I'm telling myself those things, that's what I'm focusing on, then I'm gonna feel more of that. And if you can think yourself into paralysis, right? You can think yourself into not taking action, which is the worst thing that we can do, because action cures all, right? If we are struggling with our diet or with exercising, then go for a quick run. Action will cure the issues, right? And then once you take that action, now you have evidence that you're the type of person that exercises. Or maybe you eat a salad, and now you're creating evidence that you're the type of person that eats healthy, right? So action is what's going to get you out of the rut that you might be in. So you need to think about like, what is the story that I'm telling myself right now about why things are happening around me? See, the events are outside of our control, but it's our response, our reactions, our attitude, the images that we think about, that we visualize. That's what we have control over. And we can choose thoughts that are empowering, that are supportive, that are going to help us feel good, versus thoughts that are going to make us feel bad. So I want you to think about, when like this season of life that you're going through right now, some of the challenges that you're having, what are you telling yourself? What's the story, the narrative that you have created around why these things are happening? Because the answer to that question is affecting your day to day. And of course, if it's affecting your everyday, your day to day, it's affecting your future, because every action that you take or don't take today has a ripple effect for days, weeks, months, years, right? You making a decision today that takes you in a different direction will have a massive impact in your life over the next year, 5 years, 10 years. So you need to shape your story You need to reshape your story in a way that's going to get you to move the way that you want to move in the direction that you want to move. This is so important. This is so important. Again, these stories that we tell ourselves, they're made up. They're made up. Most times we don't know. I mean, I say most times, pretty much every time, we don't know what people are thinking when they do something, right? You can't read people's minds. You don't know. You may think you know, right? But again, that's your belief. You're assuming, oh, because this person is this way and this way, this way, they did this because of this. But you don't know. You don't know why they did what they did. And so if you don't know, you might as well come up with a story that is going to serve you, a story that is going to empower you, that's going to help you move in the right direction. Don't come up with a story that's going to make you doubt yourself. Don't come up with a story that's going to make you feel bad about yourself. Life is already tough. I mean, trust me, like, I'm going after things right now that are testing me. I mean, they are pushing me to my to the limit. I mean, and I'm trying to push through, right? Because that's what life is all about. It's about growth. It's about progress. It's not about perfection. It's about moving and growing and getting better. So, I'm trying to, walk the talk. And I tell you to get out of your comfort zone. I tell you to go for big things. Well, I'm working on that myself. I'm going after those. But what happens is we step out with faith, and sometimes we get beat up and we got to get back up and keep going. But the one thing that we can control to keep us going is the story that we tell ourselves, right? We absolutely have to decide that we are in charge of our story, we are in charge of our life, we are in charge of our movie, right? I'm the main actor, I'm the director, I'm the writer, I'm everything for this movie, right? You are the star of your movie. Stop acting like a support role. You are the star of your movie. So you need to decide today who you want to be, how you want to show up in this world, what difference you want to make, what do you want to make happen for yourself, for your loved ones, for the world, right? And don't fake it till you make it. Act as if you're already that person. If you think of yourself like, what does a successful you, the highest version of yourself, 5 years from now look like in your mind? Visualize, imagine, like, if you had all the success that you wanted over the next 5, 10 years, what would that person look like? How would they act? How would they show up? Are they kind to others? Are they compassionate? Are they driven? Are they disciplined? Are they organized? How did they show up? And embody that person right now. You don't have to wait. Embody that person right now and start taking action. Act as if you are that person. Act with that confidence, with that drive. Don't let other people get in the way. Don't let other people slow you down. Don't let other people tell you that you're anything other than what you visualize yourself to be. You need to create that picture in your mind. You need to create a story around what's going on in your life right now that is moving you toward the results that you want. That is the key. That is the key. You cannot give any energy or attention to anything that does not align with the story of you getting to the next level, of you making progress, of you moving in the direction that you want to move. So that is the key. That's your homework. Make sure that whenever something happens that you have no control over, you take some time to consciously decide, okay, what does this mean? What story is going to help me move in the right direction? What story do I need to create around this? And create a story that's going to empower you, it's going to fuel you, is going to move you in the right direction. Because at the end of the day, there's enough challenges out there, there's enough setbacks, there's enough roadblocks. You don't want to be your own challenge. You don't want to be your own roadblock. And so many of us block ourselves by the stories that we tell ourselves. And they're false narratives. They're false narratives. We don't know why people do what they do. So we might as well make up a story that is positive, that is empowering, that makes us feel good. So hope you'll have a great day, a great week. Remember, L2 mindset: love yourself, lead yourself, so you can love and lead others. Talk to you all soon. Have a great day.